ImPACT has changed the way we interact with our parents in a way that we can give them a concrete, believable tool, something that they can hold and look at that's tangible, it sounds like I feel that there's a true concrete look, here's the numbers. And so I get my parents to buy in a little bit more that there really is something going on with their kiddo. Even when they fight me, the ones that fight and say, oh no, they're fine, and we have them go and do the test and come back, they can see that there's an issue. To baseline them before, that just gives my parents a sense of secureness. That they know that they're fine. If something happens, we can go back and look and we have something to look at.
I think communication across the spectrum of multidisciplinary healthcare providers is important, not only when we're dealing with concussion, but when we're dealing with injuries in general. And I think what ImPACT does is we can tie that back into objective measures to demonstrate to specifically the parents and the athletes that something might not be right. And when the physician or the healthcare provider can tie the ImPACT test into the other legs of the stools, so to speak, tie it back in with the physical exam, tie it back in with balance testing and the other tools that physician uses, kind of helps to demonstrate to the patient and the parents that there's something not right with the patient's brain.
The ImPACT test can help educate the general public about understanding of where an athlete generally is in their process of having a concussion. It has a great modules that help understand memory, reaction time, processing speed, and really allows the medical professional to sit down and truly explain what the results are and say, this is where we're deficient and why after a concussion. It really allows that extra level of conversation between the medical professional and the parent.
So I think ImPACT allows us to communicate with our nurses and communicate with our guidance department, just because I think it really, again, provides some tangible information that we can go off of, right? So just because you have, a not great post-injury doesn't necessarily mean you have a concussion, and vice versa. So it allows us to work together, right? When we're all on the same page and we all understand what's going on, it allows us to sit down and say, okay, how do we work with this athlete, and how do we get this athlete past whatever hump they're on, right? Is it that we're just ready to go back to play, or are we really struggling in this return to learn process, and are we really struggling with how to get them to that next step and be able to get them to sit through a test and be able to get them to, kind of catch up on all their work. And I think when we're all using that platform and we're all educated, it just makes the communication much better.
We're able to use ImPACT to contact with parents, or we have a neuropsych consultant that we use, so we're able to send him the results, or he'll use their passport number and go in and look at it. We've had students who, maybe it happens right at Christmas break and they're heading home and they're going to follow up with a physician at home. So we give them their passport number, and now the physician can go through with their passport number. Mom and dad have the information, they can look at it. We do have some parents we have to sit down and explain. They want to go right to the graph. They want to look at, and we have to explain, the graph's just a piece of that. You need to look at the raw scores, like where is the problem happening? We're not necessarily just going to look at a composite score. We need to look at the whole picture. And so educating the parents on what the test is, and also getting them to understand, and that's still the problem I have now, that it's not a diagnostic tool. And we say to parents, this is not a diagnostic tool. This isn't saying you have a concussion or you don't have a concussion. This is saying, am I cognitively back to normal? And trying to just educate the parents and the kids, and even some of the coaches. And they'll say, well, what did ImPACT say? What did their test say? It's like, no, that's not how it works. It's not a diagnostic tool. It's not saying, or the kid who says, oh, I failed. No, you didn't fail. There's no such thing as a fail, right? Or did I pass? You didn't pass or fail, right? Are you back to cognitively your normal self, right? And so there's an education piece of that, of trying to get them to understand that part of it.